What's up, everybody? We are back here for another regional prediction. Today we have College Station, one of my favorite college towns I've been to. Absolutely unbelievable place. I love Blue Bell Park. Of course, Texas A&M is the top team in this regional. There's also USC, a team that could be very, very interesting as a two seed. They also have Texas State, an intriguing Sun Belt opponent, as well as Lamar, who isn't going to have to take that far of a trip. Three Texas teams in this regional, a couple teams that could potentially get their way all the way to Omaha. So excited to talk about this predictions. This regional. There we go. Absolutely excited. This is going to be awesome. I don't know why I've struggled to say regional so much over the last couple of days making these videos, but whatever. We're going to start here with Texas A&M, who is 39 and 14, 18 and 11 in the SEC. That final 30th game was against Texas that ended up getting canceled, but they did win that series 2-0 at home. It was one of the most iconic series of this entire college baseball season. They also took down Florida, who's a regional host. They also took down Mississippi State, who's also a regional host. Had some really good wins this year, especially as of recently. They lost to Oklahoma and Ole Miss, two unfortunate series, but not anything to be really ashamed of, especially not that Ole Miss one, who's a pretty good team in itself. They have a really good offense, which is important to note. Caden Sorrell, 23 home runs on the year. Unbelievable player. They also have Gavin Grahorvac, who has 19 home runs on the year as well. This offense is great. And yeah, this overall team, so much talent all around. I can definitely see this team not only winning this regional, but going pretty far. Now, this USC team is pretty interesting as well. They're 43 and 15, 20 and 10 in the Big Ten Conference. Of course, they've had a great year, done really well throughout the season. They took down Iowa in a series. They took down Cal Poly, who's in the tournament as a 3 seed. But they did lose to Oregon, UCLA, and Nebraska, which are kind of the three main teams that have like a pulse in the Big Ten. So unfortunate that they lost to all three. They're also pretty cold. They just lost a series to Oregon. They just blew a game in the conference tournament to UCLA and I believe the semifinals. And yeah, things aren't really going their way. They are really streaky though, which is important to note. Could mean they kind of crash out and have a really bad tournament. Could also mean they have a really good tournament. Really hard to say. When it comes to some of their roster guys, they have Augie Lopez, who's a great bat. They have Jack Basier as well. And then they also have Mason Edwards, who has 160 strikeouts. I don't know if that's top of the country, but it's got to be pretty close. It was definitely, I think, the most of any team in this tournament. Edwards is an unbelievable player. I can't believe 160 strikeouts. Now, this Texas State team is really underrated as well. 36 and 24 on the season, 16 and 14 in the Sun Belt Conference. That's some pretty good series wins. They took down Washington State, who's in the tournament as a 3 seed. They took down Louisiana, who I believe is also a 3 seed in this tournament. Georgia Southern, who had a pretty solid year. Arkansas State, who had a pretty solid year. They did lose a couple bad ones, though. They lost to Troy, who's in this tournament. They lost to Louisiana as well as beating them, who's also in this tournament, like I mentioned. They lost to South Alabama, which is a pretty poor one. Just kind of shows they can beat anybody, they can lose to anybody. They have some pretty good wins. Not too poor of losses, I would say, for a 3 seed. They're also really streaky, which is important to note. Definitely a good if you're a 3 seed and you're streaky. It means you can win this regional if you really try. Then the final team is Lamar, a team that went 34 and 25 this season, 19 and 11 in the conference. They're really hot, they're really streaky. It helps a lot. If you're a 4 seed, I feel pretty good about this Lamar team. Unfortunately, if they didn't have Texas A&M in their conference, I feel pretty good about giving them a chance to actually go ahead and potentially win a regional. But unfortunately, some of these losses are pretty bad. Losing to Southeastern Louisiana, while a good baseball team in general, it's not a good loss. Losing to Nichols is definitely not good as well. But they did beat Kansas once, which is really, really interesting. If I had to pick a sleeper 4 seed, I'm not picking any 4 seeds, I don't think, to get out of the regional. But if there was one, I don't hate the Shadow Lamar. A really interesting team. Unfortunately, they don't have any like iconic players or anything like that that have really stepped up. That kind of gives me the extra idea that they could potentially go farther. But I really, really like Lamar this year. So, unfortunately, if you're a Lamar fan, I'm not going to pick you to win this regional, but I'm going to put them second. Actually, I can see, honestly, any of these three teams kind of competing for the eventual regional, but I do think that Texas A&M is a level above the rest. USC as a 2 seed, they've just been too cold that it's kind of hard to pick them at this time of year. They haven't done good against good competition. Texas State's an interesting one. They've beaten some solid teams. Could potentially have them, finishing second, but I think I'm gonna have them finishing third because I absolutely love what Lamar is doing this year. But of course, I do think that the Aggies are going to roll to a regional victory. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and make sure to stay updated for the rest of the regional predictions. I'm going to have all 16 coming out before everything starts on Friday, so stay tuned for more.